Hello, thank you for clicking on the video. We're asked on a fairly regular basis what our thoughts are on bankruptcy and should somebody file for it. We need to remember that bankruptcy is a devastating, life-altering decision. For that reason, we don't recommend it. Let's start by clearing the air. Most people that file bankruptcy do so out of fear, because they got in over their heads for one reason or another. We need to remember, again, bankruptcy is a devastating and life-altering decision. I've never met anyone that has gone through it and been happy that they did afterwards. It's actually quite the contrary. People come to us all the time who've already filed bankruptcy because they're looking for a way to get out of it after they realize the issues. For that reason, we don't recommend it. When considering filing, you need to remember it's not an Etch-a-Sketch. There are several items that won't go away. Child support, 99% of IRS debts, student loans, criminal restitutions, and secured debt that you reaffirm. Reaffirming is basically saying that, yes, I'm going to keep the item and I'm also going to keep the payments. We're talking your cars, boats, houses, jet skis, motorcycles, anything that is backed by an asset. You don't get to lose the debt but keep the asset. So as a result, many people that go through it, they only end up clearing anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 of debt. That's just dumb. You could have done that on your own with much less damage to your credit, because the only things that went away was credit cards and personal loans. Do you have payday lenders? Do you have title loans? They're not going away. The other very important thing to remember is you have to pass a means test, or rather fail it. This is where the court determines if you have the means to pay the debt based on their calculations. If they determine you do, you won't qualify for a Chapter 7. This means they force you into a Chapter 13, also known as a wage earner's bankruptcy. This is 60 months of payments. In almost every case, you can be out of debt way before 60 months by working with somebody that knows how to do this. Also, get this, 78% of Chapter 13s fail. You can do this without trashing your credit. You might say, well, they won't stop calling me. Well, no, you owe them money. But part of this is because you're not communicating with them and you're not controlling the conversation. You need to communicate with the people you owe money to on a regular basis. Let them know what's going on. Will they stop calling you? No. But you control the conversation. When they start getting rude, condescending, end the conversation. Missing a creditor or two every here and again while you're getting your expenses down and your income up is one thing. Missing a bankruptcy payment or two, and they can boot you out of bankruptcy. I know because I've seen it. Without changed behavior, such as less debt, more cash in the bank, a consistent income, or just an income if you don't have one, and so on, this will help solve your problem. The rooted money problem is actually still there if all you do is go through bankruptcy. You just stop the bleeding for the time being. Remember a little while ago I mentioned 78% of Chapter 13s fail? Maybe we found the problem. Again, we're not mad at you if you did file. We're still here to help you mop up the mess. We just can't recommend you drop that bomb on your finances when most of the time there are better options. So just to recap, when most people think of a bankruptcy, they think of a Chapter 7, which is a total liquidation of debt. 98% of the national Chapter 7 filings were what's called no asset files. This means the person that filed had no money or assets to stand for their debts. This means they spent all their money paying their creditors. They have nothing. They're not sitting on $10,000 over here, $15,000 over there, or a whole bunch of other cash that they're just hiding because I'm getting one over. This means they had no assets and no money to stand for it. It's simple. You don't get to keep your stuff and not pay the bills. Also, you need to remember, you're not going to walk away from child support, 99% of IRS debts, student loans, criminal restitutions, and if you want your secured assets, cars, boats, houses, and so on, you get to reaffirm those or you lose your item. The major reason for bankruptcy is fear. People that file bankruptcy, they've lost hope. There's people calling at all times of the day. There's letters showing up on holidays. The embarrassment of that. Do you really think that was an accident? The stuff is done intentionally to invoke an emotional response out of you, and they don't want you to file bankruptcy. Reacting out of fear and frustration is no reason to make a life-altering decision. For most people, you're not far from turning the corner, and I can show you how. Yes, there are a few cases where someone is $100,000 or several $100,000 in debt with no income. In that case, the debt may go away during a Chapter 7. That's not the normal. And odds are, that's not your situation. We're simply saying, in almost all cases, and I'll reiterate, almost all cases, there's a better way out without dropping a bomb on your financial life that's going to hang with you for a very long time. Please consider this before you just go file for bankruptcy and figure out the hard way that they're going to throw you under Chapter 13 for 60 months of payments and a trustee takes over. If you have any questions or you'd like to dig deeper, again, I can help you with it. Do the numbers though. What's your net? Did you move the needle? You can do that with online calculators. You don't need me for that. Thanks.